And welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to The View from Here, Behind the Enemy Lines. Michael's contribution to society.
Actually, for all those people that are curious about how the collagen thing has been going for me, I just reached a new weight, and now I weigh 183. I started weighing myself in the middle of January at 219, and it's all about the collagen.
Wow. I got down to 181 a few months ago, but I've been around 190. Today I was 190 point something. And I actually weigh more than you. And you've always been the fat fuck.
Well, I was husky. The thing is that, it takes a lot to keep this much man flesh alive.
Oh, God. At least his sense of humor is still okay. By the way, I want to talk to about something that's happening in New Jersey, up in Cranberry, New Jersey. Now, there's a farm that's been there 175 years in the same family, several generations. They turned down an offer a lot bigger than they're being given by the township a while back. They didn't want to sell. And the town is using eminent domain to take their farm so that they can put up, guess what? Low-income housing. Okay? Because of that stupid Mount Laurel decision from years ago, the towns have to have so many low-income housing things. Well, if there's no land there, you can't do it. Or if you got factories, empty factories, why don't you put them there? Convert the factories into housing. Okay? But no, they want to take a productive farm that's been in the family since before the Civil War. Okay? And they want to steal it from these people. Now, I heard one podcaster, I'm not going to say who it was, saying he said I am not, and I'm not either, advocating this, but you could not blame this family if they were to use deadly force to protect their property if and when city contractors come and try and rip their farm apart. Okay, this is an injustice. There's no need to take this farm and away from people. It's making money. It's been in the family for years, and they just want to take it. Eminent domain was originally meant to use if you needed certain properties for an emergency. There's no emergency here. Okay, they're just kowtowing. They're blowing the courts and minorities for votes. That's what it is.
Well, the eminent domain is never an action that pleases everybody, because the people that are imposed upon, the people who are forced to hand over their property to the state, so to speak, are the victims. The justification is that there's some sort of civic responsibility or necessity
for the greater good. That Marxist hallmark, right. For the greater good.
Right, but it has to be essential. I don't think that it might be the case in this situation, but
it's not.
Eminent domain is always an undesirable process.
Yeah, because for one thing, they're supposed to give fair market value, and they're not. Like I said, this family was offered millions of dollars. I forget how many millions for the property by developers. And developers are a big farm. I forget who. But they refused it. They turned it down. They want to keep the farm in the family. And now the town comes along and is doing this. I think people are getting paid to... People are on the council are lining their pockets, okay? Because the town council is doing this. Now, this is not a huge town, Cranberry. The residents should all be up in arms about this, because this could happen to them anytime, okay? They should confront the council and maybe even have a recall election for every single one of them.
Okay.
I know it's easier said than done, but something's got to be done to keep these out of control politicians, corrupt politicians, in line. Okay? And I think that the developer they want to give it to for the low-income housing should be investigated also. This is bullshit. And if it were my farm, I'll tell you, I'd have my family lock and loaded. I know I'd go to jail eventually, but they're not going to take they wouldn't take my property that easily. Anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest because it's another injustice by government, by intrusive government.
In your state.
In this frigging state.
Right.
If it were my state, these things wouldn't be happening. Okay?
Yes.
In this stupid state, this state that you fled because of the unjust gun laws.
Well, yes, the funny thing is that for the longest time I was not a gun owner. And then when I became a gun owner, all of a sudden I was hit with the reality of gun ownership in this country and in the state of New Jersey. All of the formalities. All of a sudden, I discovered that my Second Amendment rights were not easily accessible, that you had to process.
Being infringed upon.
Yeah, and it was, it was like, okay, I want another handgun. Okay, we'll send it to you in a month. It's like I was talking once.
Yeah, you can't buy more than one a month. If you get 2 or 3 permits, you can get up to 3 permits to buy a handgun. But if you walk in a day before the 30 days is over, you're going to jail. This state, Evan Nappen likes to call it New Jersey the gun owner's gulag.
There might actually be worse states. I understand Maryland is horrible, but the thing is that there have been a number of Second Amendment pro actions that have been done in the Supreme Court. There was one supposedly done recently, this last day or two. Mostly it affects Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is presently like
they were not following the order for Bruin.
Yeah,
they were not giving out handgun carry permits.
Right. So
in fact, they were trying not to give out purchase permits either.
Well, when I was living in Jersey, I discovered in Jersey City, my friend Val was trying to get a permit, not a permit, but firearms purchase ID, and they had it in their possession, and we kept going back, and finally somebody said, "Oh, here you go," and they said, we looked at the timing on it. It was sitting there for about 3 months. Mm-hmm. So we said, "Well, why didn't you give it to us earlier?" And they said, "One less gun on the street."
It's bullshit, because the criminals get guns no matter what, okay? And law-abiding citizens are helpless because they don't have the guns that they are entitled to own.
In Manhattan a few days ago, there should have been one more gun on the street.
Yes, a person with a carry could have killed this clown before he killed 5 people.
Right. The other thing is that there was that knife wielder who stabbed 11 people. I forget what state, and he was stopped by a man
with a gun,
handgun. Yeah.
It was the only thing.
Save lives.
Yeah, and it was a black man who had the gun on him legally, and he's the one who stopped it. And then the neighbors all the other people surrounded the guy so he couldn't flee, and right. They held him there till the cops came.
Courage is contagious.
Yeah. So is cowardice. If you're in New York and you see something going on, nobody does anything, forget it. I remember I got into a fight on the subway on Thanksgiving. I was bringing my brother, who was disabled at the time, to New Jersey for Thanksgiving dinner. And I had an altercation with this homeless jerk who was screaming at people and trying to start crap. He went up to one guy, and like the pole was over here. He had about 2 feet on this side, 1 foot on that side. The other guy, he started yelling at the guy because his legs were blocking the way on the one foot side. He could have gone. I said, "Why don't you just go around?" And he came. He comes around the thing, comes up to me. I just got up and stood right there in his face, and he starts, and I figured he was about to sucker punch me, so I just shoved him. I shoved him so hard he went about, let's see, from where we were, I'd say about 8 feet. He hit the door at the end and then slid to the floor, got up, scrambled, and made a big fuss of it. And I just, like got into a stance and waited for him. Everybody else everybody who was there except for my brother, they all fled to the other side of the car. Okay. They're all over on the other side of the car. And, I confronted the guy. He started to come towards me, so I went and I gave him 2 side kicks. I kicked him up against the door, and then I moved back. I stepped back and waited. We stopped at a station. The door opens. I said, "Get out!" Right? He got out, and then he's yelling and so forth. But that was it. And that reminds me, another time I had a guy who was drunk, and he was giving people shit on the car. And I'm standing by the door. He's standing by the door on the other side, and he's yelling at people. And I said, "Get the fuck out!" Right? And he looks at me. Right? I said, "Get the fuck," because he'd been bothering people on the train. So he looks at me and sheepishly walks off the train, and the doors closed. We start moving. Everybody in the car who didn't lift a hand to say or say anything, they started applauding me. Fuck you.
Yeah, if you are the kind of person that you think that you might get an altercation, regardless of whether or not you carry a gun or not.
This was in New York City. I mean, I couldn't carry a gun. I couldn't carry anything, and
yeah,
I'm not a violent person. You know that.
Still carry U.S. Law Shield in your wallet, and that'll at least. They see the thing is, U.S. Law Shield is not just about gun; it's about any kind of self-protection thing. So, yes.
Oh, by the way, there's something else that you could add on to that. By the way, not the concealed carry thing. This is something called attorneys on demand. I just heard about it on the Gun for Hire podcast today.
Oh well.
No, it was on Gun Lawyer, and they're saying, what do you call it? U.S. Law Shield will protect you criminally, no matter what. However, in a civil situation, I'm not sure how much they would help you. But these attorneys on demand, this guy will defend you in any civil lawsuit that may arise as a result of your defending yourself, whether it be by a firearm, knife, your fists, whatever.
Well, I used to carry USCC,
right?
But the problem is I lost faith in them. I heard too many negative things about them.
Yes, so did I.
So I just now I just have U.S. Law Shield, and what I do have is I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope things work out. That's all.
Well, U.S. carry one that you had. One good thing they have is they have an updated list of gun laws in different states. So
yeah, but
you can carry or not.
That Barry Todd mentioned, and it does the same thing.
That's the one. Maybe what was it he mentioned?
I've forgotten it now. I
thought it was concealed carry. I'm not sure.
Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if you can get that information also through the NRA.
You can get it through the NRA, and you could probably get it through. I have to see, but I think you could get it through U.S. Law Shield also. I think. I haven't been on the site for a while, so.
No, yeah, it's
So the thing is, I got the enhanced protection, which means even if I defend myself with my fists, I'm covered.
That's right. Yeah. So the thing is that I mentioned earlier today to you about Alberta doing a pipeline.
Alberta, Canada, not Alberta Jones down the street.
Oh, okay. So they're getting some resistance from the main government, Canadian government, but
surprise.
But the thing is that it seems as though they still might have the upper hand.
it would be great if they in Saskatchewan seceded, even though in between the two of them is another province that is pro Trudeau type people. But if they were to secede, even if they formed their own country, it would be better than them staying in Canada.
Well, the thing is, they also, I forget which, I think it might have been Saskatchewan. No, it's not Saskatchewan, not Alberta, but I forget. But British Columbia might actually be the most valuable one when it comes to trade and stuff. I forget which one.
Well, yeah, when it comes to what do they call them? Minerals and
Yeah, gross domestic product or whatever, GDP.
yeah, but unfortunately, British Columbia is very left. All the leftists all gravitate towards big cities, and they have infested Vancouver. Yeah, they're like cockroaches. They go to wherever the cultural centers are. That's why Nashville, Tennessee, the heart of country music, is now a libtard town because it has culture. And so these people fleeing the high taxes of New York, California, and wherever else go down there, and then they create a government that's going to do the same thing that they fled from. They're assholes. They're idiots.
Well, you can blame them or you can blame the people who sold to them.
Oh, by the way, that guy you talked about, who the guy with the gun stopped him. All the media said was that a group of citizens stopped him and apprehended him until the police came.
Yeah.
But they would not mention that it was the guy with the gun who forced the guy to stop stabbing people.
Right. Well, they're not going to mention that because
they're scum. They're anti-gun globalist scum. They are Marxists. Okay, the Marxists. Joe McCarthy, Senator Joe McCarthy, he was right about communists infecting Hollywood and the government.
Don't say that.
And they still crucify him to this day. I wrote a tweet. I wrote a tweet answering some guy who was saying that McCarthy was that somebody defending McCarthy was misinformed. I said, no, he's not misinformed. You're the one who's misinformed or lying, basically. And I said McCarthy was right. But to this day they denigrate him. Maybe he went about it the wrong way. Maybe he was too zealous, but he was correct. He was absolutely correct.
Well, you're always going to have influences in the country that you don't particularly care for.
Yeah.
The question is, how well are they doing? Right now, they're doing quite well. That Little Black Sambo in New York.
Oh, the Muslim jihadist jerk off.
Yeah.
A classy guy. He's getting interviewed by the media and he's eating with his hands like a friggin' pig.
Yeah. I'm going to call.
I'm surprised he just didn't put his mouth into the thing. His snout.
I'm going to call him Malamar because he's no good for you.
Yeah, Malamar.
But the thing.
I heard a good name, a great name. Somebody used this to, I don't know who it was. Where the hell is? Oh my God! Don't tell me I threw it away. I wrote it down because it was so great. I hear this.
It was great. You lost it.
Well, somebody on Instagram, I think it was. This was his name. This is how he referred to Cory Booker. He wrote about Cory Booker, but he called him Temu Dollar Tree Obama.
10 what?
Temu, the Chinese company that sells shit cheap.
No.
Real stuff, real cheap. Temu. You see it everywhere. You'll see an $80 jacket. They'll sell it to you for $5.
I'm not familiar with the brand.
Well, Temu, they're all over Facebook and Instagram. They advertise all over the place. TikTok, and they sell.
The problem with that is you have to know the brand, and I don't know the brand.
But a lot of people, it's Temu Dollar Tree. You know Dollar Tree, right?
Well, then I would just leave it Dollar Tree.
Well, by the way, what is it? I think it's Dollar Tree is going to become $1.50 tree or something.
It's not Dollar. anymore. It's you go in there and sometimes things are as $5-6. They do have some dollar. They do have a lot of dollar stuff still, but a lot of times their dollar stuff is $1.25.
There's a place here in town that in the mall that's called Five and Below.
Yeah, Five Below is good.
Yeah, but any day now they may change it to 10 and Below.
Actually, they have it. Some of the stores have a back section called 5 Above,
Really?
which is everything above $5.
Anyway, I like that Temu Dollar Tree Obama.
Yeah, if you go to
because Temu is a cheap and knockoffs of everything.
If you go to Five Below and you see a game called Ticket to Ride, buy it. Doesn't even matter what version.
Why? How good is it?
It's a great game.
Ticket to Ride. What is it? A train game or something, or what?
Well, it's the theme is trains. What you're doing is you're putting routes together throughout the city, or nation, depending upon the version that you have, and you do that by collecting sets of colored cards. And when you have the right amount of cards for a particular location in the right color, you play that, and you get points for having longer and longer routes. But also, there's cards that that also distinguish a route between two particular locations.
Right.
And if you can complete that at the end of the game, you get bonus points.
Okay, cool. Hey, remember the game Rail Baron?
I know of it.
Back from the 70s and 80s.
I heard about it. I never played it.
When we were all, when my group of friends were all newly married and before anybody had kids,
right,
we used to get together and play that a lot with the wives.
One of the great games from that period was Acquire.
Acquire, I remember the name.
Yeah, Acquire is you're building hotels and you're collecting stock. So what happens is that you have these.
Trying to become a billionaire, basically.
You have these like domino-like pieces, and only you know what number they have on the grid. So let's say you've got a piece that's A1. That's going to be in the top right left corner, right?
Okay.
And then maybe G4 is somewhere in the middle and out to the right. So the point is that you have these little black cubes that have these numbers that only you see. You set them up like dominoes, and on your turn you place one. And wherever you place one will go ahead and increase the size of that particular hotel. So based upon what you can see, you know what hotels might be able to grow. So you can start investing in those stock. But if somebody grows a particular hotel differently, they could end up basically taking over that space. And if you put two hotels together, the larger hotel eats the smaller hotel, and the people who own stock in the smaller hotel get dividends. So it's very simple. It's a very clever game.
They get dividends, you said?
Yeah.
Oh. They don't lose everything. They just get dividends, and
they usually get a portion of stock in a new company. So they might get for every.
Well, that's not so bad then if somebody takes over, unless you were planning to put a big hotel there yourself and be the owner.
Actually, if you had a bunch of really cheap stock and you managed to get yourself to be sucked into a larger one, you could turn your crappy stock into something useful because it's not part of the big chain. In other words, there's not one result from a merger. It could happen a lot of different ways, and you can engineer it. It's actually it's very simple in its rules. It's very clever in its play. Acquire.
All right.
It was originally an Avalon Hill game. It was like from 1970s. I had a copy. I think Milton Bradley made another version of it in the 80s. And I
remember the name, but I never played it.
It is a very, very good game. And it's easy to teach.
Right.
But anyway, Five Below has Ticket to Ride. Actually, I even got from Five Below. I got Sushi Go, which they seem to be out of.
I've heard that of that.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Really?
Sushi Go is a set collection game, but the best thing about it, it's a card game. But the biggest problem with most card games is this: I deal you a hand. Is it a
Yeah.
good hand or a bad hand? Depends on what you get, right? Well, here's the thing: if you get a great hand, yeah, you're happy. You get a lousy hand, not so happy. But here's how Sushi Go does it: you get dealt a hand.
Yeah.
You take one card out of that hand, you play it, and then you pass the entire hand over to the left. And this continues to go in a circle until all cards are played. So nobody is
There's
stopped.
only one hand of cards.
What?
There's only one hand dealt.
No, everybody gets dealt a hand.
Oh, but everybody passes over to the left every time, or
Yes, it goes in a clockwise manner.
that reminds me of the poker game Andriata, or as we used to call it, pass the shit, where you get dealt 7 cards and you have to take 3 of them, and it sucks because you got to give more. So if you got a full house or a royal flush, you're screwed
Right.
because you got to give the guy to the left 3 cards, and then you get 3 cards from this person.
Yeah,
So it's a heartbreaking poker game. You get dealt a great hand and you can't do anything with it.
It's
Unless you got 4 of a kind.
a similar mechanic, except you're only playing one card and passing the entire hand.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which, if you're playing with, let's say, 3 or 4 players, and you get a hand of 9 cards, you kind of know what's coming around your way. Hopefully,
That's right? Sushi Go.
Sushi Go, excellent game.
Why is it called Sushi Go?
Because it's all based upon sushi. You have sashimi, sushi. I don't know.
So it's a Japanese game.
Yeah. Well, it's a Japanese sushi theme.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who originally created it because anything can come from anywhere.
Right. All right.
If you want to, I can find out who created it.
It's not important.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, I mean, well, if I get it, it's going to be to give to my son and the grandkids. They play games a lot when
it's very, very, very good.
The only time I play games these days is if I'm at my son's house and they're going to play a game.
Hey, if you want a really great game for the family, go to our site, okay, which is the view from here behind enemy lines. Go to the link to my game company, okay,
Friendly Fire Games,
and order yourself a copy of Z. Which only is $15, 1 to 6 players, or 2 to 3 teams of 2 players each, or solo, and it works. The game works.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to support my co-host here.
It's actually.
I hope you people out there do the same thing. Go check out his games. He's a game designer. He's got several games up for sale, and help him out. Come on.
Go to our site.
He entertains you at least once a week. Speaking of which, we are plotting, scheming to have a regular show, possibly every Wednesday, because there have been some weeks when we do it erratically. We'll do it on a Saturday, maybe then again on a Tuesday, then on a Friday. And this week it was crazy because we did a show yesterday, which is up this morning with the Gnarly girls. We had another interview today. That's going to be put out.
This one will be published. Yeah, sure.
This weekend, and this show, I guess, we'll put out after the other one,
or before.
Before or after, we'll see.
Before works for me.
Well, we'll see. I've got my reasons for doing it after.
There you go.
But anyway, so we're not telling you what day we're doing this, although I hinted at it.
Yes.
And if you know when the Gnarly Girls was done, then you know when we're doing this thing.
Yeah, the Gnarly Girl stuff is on all of our channels.
Yeah.
And to get to those channels, all you gotta do is go to our website, which is the view from here behind enemy lines.
Yeah. It's published on Apple Podcast audio only. Published on Spotify, Rumble, and YouTube. or a video. Okay,
Yep.
so you can see the gorgeous gnarly girls and our gorgeous faces at the same time, all on the same screen. Big
Yep.
contrast. Big contrast.
We had a lot of fun with the Gnarly Girls. They're great people.
Yes, they were really fun. Anyway, this particular episode, for example, it was an impromptu thing. I asked Mike earlier. I said, "Hey, look, I got to go out and pick something up. When I come back, you want to do another one?" He said, "Call me." So I called him when I got back. He was still awake. He's usually a doddering old
I
fool.
was brushing my teeth.
Well, I got even because, like I said, 2 days ago, you called me just as I was brushing my teeth. And in the morning, you call me. I'm listening, trying to listen to Louder with Crowder, and you interrupt the podcast. Now I got to go and watch the replay later.
Oh,
Oh, and you also this morning you not only interrupted that. Earlier on, you interrupted me listening to Scott Adams' podcast. Ha!
Yeah, I did you a favor.
No, you didn't. Oh, Scott. I don't know. Well, let's say Scott Adams has stage 4 cancer, prostate cancer. However, he had told us, like he'd been in a lot of pain for a while, but then he started on a new treatment. He wouldn't tell us what it was a couple of months ago, and he said if it doesn't work, he was going to basically off himself. He'd already made the arrangements. He was going to do it. Now, turns out all of July he was fine. He was back to his old self almost. He's still skinnier than he used to be and all, but he's no longer hunched over and looking haggard and talking like he's tired and stuff. He said for a long time he'd been in pain every single day, and then he said it turns out he told us at the end of June that what he's doing is testosterone blocking hormones. Okay, he's getting estrogen injections apparently. I don't know how it is exactly, but he feels a lot better than he had. Here it is. His PSA. You know what the PSA is?
No.
Your prostate specific antigen. It's supposed to be between, I think, 0.1 to 4. His was, I think, 1,400, almost 1,500, which is huge. That's an indication of, your prostate is very unhealthy and you got cancer. Now, he was down the other day to 15. Okay, he said he's got to get it down to below 8 to be okay. But basically, this thing is had him in remission. He told us that if it had not worked, he would have died on June 30th. That was the date he'd set for himself. That if he wasn't any better, he was gonna leave.
Yeah.
So he's still around, thank God. Although 2 days ago or 3 days ago, he wasn't feeling well. He was feeling pain, and he didn't do the show. The first time in years that he didn't do the show. But he was back the next day, no problem. So anyway, that's what I want to say. And Scott Adams is sometimes I disagree with him, but overall he's very insightful, very insightful. And he's been doing this for years now. And he likes it so much he's got a pre-show that he does before the show. Then he does in the evening he used to do, I don't think he's doing it anymore. He'd do like maybe he'd play drums while he was talking to you, or he'd be working out and talking to the audience. So he just liked being on camera for a change. Yeah, and that's it. He is, for those of you who don't know or who think, oh, the name's familiar, but I can't place it. He is the creator of Dilbert Comics.
Okay.
The Dilbert comic strip.
Okay.
Anyway, you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
Okay, this we've been on almost 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good.
We're going to cut it here tonight, and maybe I'll release this now. I don't know. I don't want to intrude on the gnarly girls though. I want people to watch.
They're already up.
What?
They're already up.
Yes, but I don't want to intrude on that. I want people to see it, to watch that episode. I think it's one of our best episodes, if not the best.
Okay, well then wait.
I am going to. I just said that.
All right, then. Goodbye,
So this
everybody.
will be out sometime this weekend.
Right.
Have a good night, folks. And we'll see you again next time on The View from Here, from Behind Enemy Lines.
Stay frosty.
Good night, Michael.
Good night, Roy.